Hey guys, it's Penguin here, and welcome back to another gold making video. In today's video, I'm going to be going over a handful of helpful tips that you can utilize with this new economy and the new region or semi-region wide auction house. Now this video is going to be tips and tricks for gold making. So this is not going to be items that you should be selling. This is not going to be markets that you should be getting into. If you guys want actual items, then I highly recommend checking out the previous videos that I've uploaded last week. However, today we're going over more of just some tips regarding TSM, regarding the auction house as a whole, crafting, etc., to just help your gold making become a little bit easier. Now, of course, you do not have to do any of these things. These are just my suggestions, and who knows, maybe one of these will spark an idea that you can utilize yourself. But without further ado, as always, if you guys enjoy the content, I would love if you could leave a like on the video, or even subscribe if you want to see more. But here we go. Alright, so the first sort of tip I want to talk about is how to go about posting and cancel scanning. So we have all probably realized that there is so much competition now, there is a ton of sellers, and your posting, especially with commodities, are probably getting buried. Right now, we can look at an example. If I go to these sage agates that I've been selling, as you can see, I am constantly getting undercut. So I posted 12 here, 4 other people came, posted on top of me, I posted yet again, somebody else came through, myself again, and then somebody yet again. So there's this constant fight for the top. And so normally what people may be doing, let's say you have 200 potions or 200 gems in my case, normally a lot of people will just right click, hit create, and then of course go cancel scan later. But this eats a lot of deposit cost. Right now, especially with kind of these older world gems, things with high vendor value, there is a pretty big deposit cost. So right here, if I were to post all 114, I am spending 42 gold. Now, if you guys aren't exactly sure what deposit cost does or how it works, if you cancel this item or it expires, basically it doesn't sell, you lose that deposit. If it sells, you of course get that deposit back. So if I post these 114, maybe 1 or 2 of them will sell, but if I don't sell all 114, I'm not getting my money back. If I sell 1, maybe I get a few, if I sell 1, I guess I'll get 38 silver back, but that is a lot of gold to spend. Definitely if your profit margins aren't huge. So instead of posting, canceling, do this in smaller posting batches. So we saw that similarly to my older post, I'm only posting maybe 5 at a time. Now the amount you actually post, of course, depends on the item you're selling. We're selling old world gems at the moment, so there's not going to be somebody who it will most likely buy 20 plus at a time. So let's just go with 5. We create an auction, it only cost us 1.88 gold, and we see if somebody buys. Of course, either somebody will come along and buy our auction, or one of these competitors will post right on top of us, and then we just have to post another 5. This speeds up time because let's say there is somebody actively on, constantly competing in this market. It takes a lot of time to go onto this screen, click cancel, accept, let it load, go to the mailbox, try to grab it out the mailbox, and then post again. But what you can do is go in here, post 5, wait however long, you can check the auction to see if you've been undercut. We haven't, but if you were, once again, post another 5, and it's just a lot faster and saves you on cost. This is my basic method for anything that is stackable. So right here, I have a faster selling item. We have missives, and let's say instead of posting all 200, of course, in this case, there's not a high deposit cost, but we still have that time factor. So I'm just going to post 20. Now, some may start selling, some may not, but already, as you can see, people are posting after. So normally what I would have to do, click here, cancel all, grab it from my mailbox, but instead I can just post 20 more, and it's a whole lot faster. Yet again, somebody is still on top. Oh, we just got a gem sale. That's pretty awesome. But this makes our life easier. We could like rapidly post if we truly want. And see right there, we were able to beat this guy. So we're now on top. And of course, there is somebody yet again posting. So this just speeds up the process. And thankfully it worked because we ended up getting a sale. And there we go. So definitely post in smaller batches, and this will save you a lot of time. Moving on to kind of, I guess this is still a part of the first tip, but you could call this the second as well, is canceling. So you're like, all right, Penguin, I just spent, all of this time posting in small batches, but I finally run out of items. So, going through here and not only getting this UI to work properly, but going through here and having to cancel just like this, letting it try to reload, this can be very time consuming, depending on how much you're posting. So I recommend getting Auctionator. The reason why I get Auctionator is because TSM right now is super slow with commodities. Normally TSM would be your best friend, but not in this case. So if we look at, let's say, the Arcanite bars, basically everything that I've posted in this whole day is undercut. And as you can see, I've been doing that like 10 method. Sometimes some sell, sometimes it doesn't. But let's say I want to cancel all of these. Instead of having to go through here and cancel through a multi-step process, I can go here and, Arcanite bars, this is alphabetical, and I can just start clicking. This is automatically going to cancel everything. Now, you can kind of rapid fire it. Sometimes it gets a little bit bugged out, but this is way faster than any sort of method, whether that's TSM or default at the moment. And just like that, we have canceled everything. Now, of course, you can utilize this just like TSM and run an undercut scan, and it will tell you and highlight the items that are undercut. And then once this scan is through, you can cancel all of them. But I really just use this UI for those rapid fire cancels like we just did. Then right here, we can grab them all out of the mailbox, and we're good to go to do a next round of posting. Now, moving on, I guess, to our full second tip, and this is actually where we're going to start talking about TSM. Now, I just mentioned how TSM is super slow and doesn't really work for commodities, but non-commodities work perfectly fine. Now, sometimes it may be a little bit slower, but as long as you only have armor pieces or non-commodities selected, you can run your scans. So right here, I only have legendary selected as well as mounts. Both of these are non-commodities, and I can run a quick cancel scan. And as you can see, it is pretty fast. Now, of course, depending on your server, depending on your personal connections, this may be a little bit slower, a little bit faster for you, but I mean, this is pretty much what we had before the merge. Sometimes it gets hung up on items right there. There was a little bit of a pause, but overall, I mean, that's pretty fast. And then I can go in here and cancel just like normal with my macro. Once again, it might be a little bit slower, but we can grab these out of the mailbox and then just post them and treat them like normal items that we used to do before all of this change. So here we go, posting yet again. It is pretty reasonably fast. So there we go. I mean, it is not perfect. There's definitely some hang-ups, but it is definitely the fastest method of posting and canceling non-consumables or non-commodities at this current point in time. Continuing on, this also applies to restocking. So TSM restocking is working perfectly fine. As you can see, I already have stuff queued, but if we clear this and we have, our novice gear and our marks selected, we have rank 7s, and you can even restock enchanting or tailoring or whatever you want, hit restock, and it works as normal. The one thing to keep in mind is that this is still using the basic knowledge of TSM. So this is still utilizing your percentage margins that you have for your minimum profit and make sure you note that it is utilizing DB market of items, just the generic way that TSM calculates price. So I selected enchanting and it is calculating enchanting correctly, but I mean if we go into the enchanting menu, as you can see, basically barely anything is profit. And I know in the back of my mind, my min price, if we go into our TSM group, or operations, our enchants, my min profit is 50 gold. So I need to go back through here and definitely change this because there's no way I am making 50 gold per enchant since this merge change. Because I was on a medium pop server, that was actually pretty easy to get. So kind of this tip is just understand that restocking does work perfectly fine. Now the task list and the searching of items on the auction house is pretty slow, but this still gives you exactly what you need. So if I were to go and craft, let's say, these 2 legendaries and these few items on my leatherworker, all of this is accurate. I can go and buy this, I can craft it. TSM works just as normal. But you may need to go back through here and edit your min profit amounts to just reflect the realistic profit margins that we're now going to see post-merge. Also, just to reflect on that point I just talked about, if you guys don't exactly know what TSM uses to calculate price, you can go into your settings and look at your default methods, but for most of us, if you cannot craft or buy this item, you will be utilizing DB Market off the auction house. So right here, if we look at this gem that I've been selling for profit, my crafting cost according to TSM is 200 gold. But as you can see, right now, all we need is a Sage Agate. If we look that up on the auction house, right now the actual price is 100 and we can just round to 80. But as you can see, if we take a look, it's utilizing 200. Where did that 200 come from? If we hover over this, as you can see, market value, which is DB market, the average, is at 200 gold, and that is what this is utilizing to craft. So this is actually a good thing because this means we're making more profit than TSM thinks. But imagine if, Sage Agate was bought out and it was up to, 283. Clearly that would be bad because TSM thinks we're buying it for 200 when it's really available for 283. So just keep in mind that TSM does not utilize the actual current price on the auction house. It has never done so, so there's really no changing that. But just because markets are so volatile, I wanted to bring that up just as a reminder. And lastly, I want to give you a little bit of a reminder/tip to check back and keep a list of things that have been profitable. A huge example, which I've accidentally already indicated in this video, is Sage Agates. So I made a video when the auction house first released about how this was a great flip. I was purchasing Sage Agates for a certain amount of gold and selling the cut ones for a huge profit. And so I was doing that the first night of the auction house change. But when I actually went to record the video talking about this said flip, the flip itself was not profitable, whether that's because people were crashing the price of the crafted item or people bought up all of the, non-crafted versions. But as you can see, about a week later, this is a super good flip, probably the best it's ever been. Don't quote me on that, but this was a lot better, and the fact that it's actually profitable is awesome. Another awesome one, which I've already talked about, today, would be missives. Missives used to be super unprofitable, especially at the start of all of this, but the Missive of Versatility has recovered and is making a lot of gold right now. So this would be an awesome item to keep on your radar. Another personal example for me would be Leviathan's Eyes. I was able to pick up a ton of the uncut versions for really, really cheap. So I'm making a little bit of profit with, this number. Also, just recently on my server, Vial of the Sands became profitable, and this is the first time in a while that Vial of the Sands were actually profitable on my realm. So some of this merge is bringing back profitable items, and some of these quick flips are going in and out of profit. So Basically, this is a long way of saying to check back. Yet again, because I am pretty bad at remembering things, literally today I accidentally looked up sage agate just to realize it was profitable, so I started selling them again tonight. Who knows, maybe they've been profitable for a few days and I've just missed it. So what I have done is I can't physically show you, but I have a sticky note which I have written down basically all of these, simple flips. So sage agate, I have missives, I have arcanite bars, titanium bars, fell steel, vial the sands, all of these different items that I've been selling in and out that I want to check back on so I just don't forget. So, when I go to restock or check my markets daily, I can glance at this little note, look them up on the auction house, and quickly figure it out. Now, whether you want to actually make yourself a written list, a notepad, maybe you have a super good memory, maybe favoriting them on your favorites list will help you out. Whatever it is, just continue to be active. I'm a broken record at this point, but I think we have all experienced how volatile this market is. Feast are profitable for 30 minutes, then they're 30 gold in the negative, all of a sudden they're profitable again, and then they go back to 5 gold negative. It's really crazy. So, use that pen and paper, use that sticky note, type something out, whatever you need to do, just to make sure you're not accidentally missing gold. But yeah, guys, that is it for this video. I know this is more of a concept video, which I feel like I have been doing more often since this change, but I truly do hope it helps. We are still in that transition period, and things are still a little bit weird, but I'm trying to help you out as best as possible. Of course, if you have any additional questions or additional tips that you would like to share with others, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. Also, if you guys want to be a part of our amazing community, feel free to join the Discord. It is completely free, and that is the best place to contact me, or just hang out if you like. But as always, everybody, thank you so much for watching, and have a good day.